We're gonna edit this one. And, hey. That's your brother from another mother, taxi driving mother, trucker, lover of life, and all things fine. Truly honored to have captured even just a moment of your time. For with identical selves, you and I are the divine. And time is the most valuable yet unappreciated and equally distributed asset of mankind. So I promise to respect yours as if it was mine. For although you think you are you and me to be me, we are one and the same, don't you see? We are energy that cannot be created or destroyed. And, however, as a cobra venom drinking white heterosexual male that loves watching porn almost as much as watching the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, had my junk grabbed by a ladyboy and done cocaine off a hooker's ass, guided by old school values yet modern enough to appreciate a Japanese robot's ass, sleeping faster than Schwarzenegger before Mr. Universe Day. For when I fall on my face in a race, I touch up and roll and catch my breath as you gas. Cause when I get back up running, even the Flash gets scared. For he ain't ever seen anything coming as fast at his laird. Suffered kidney stones, broken bones, heartbreak, and other ailments. 2-time survivor of testicular torsion. Ow. Battling rising liver yang with the fall of each sun. And I've had addictions to liquor, speed, weed, and a few more in between. Yet nothing trumps the indescribable pain felt as potential unexpressed, which always turns into unbearable pain. A believer in love and sees beauty in all, yet I'm still brave enough to write, I hate the new third loo on the bathroom stall wall. There have been none before me, and there shall be none after. And I am very honored to welcome you to this intellectual and spiritual playground that you have been invited to in hopes of collectively selling hope to ensure those amongst us and after us live a life more inspired. For my vision, and it has been since 1995, has been utopia when I first heard that word. It was, I think, September 9th, about 10:30 in the morning, my first elective in university, a sociology class. And I thought the prof was talking about Fruitopia. I said, hey, prof, he wouldn't answer my arm. I just started with a sheepish little arm raise. And he walked by, he didn't answer me, and I got the whole arm up. Made eye contact, he still didn't answer me. And after about 2 minutes, I said, hey, prof, I don't really know what the protocol is to ask a question around here. But I'm sure that 17 grand I just dropped at the admin office allows me to ask you some kind of question. And I have an important one because you keep to be talking about this Fruitopia, and it seems damn important to what you're talking about, yet I've never heard this Fruitopia that you speak of in this frame of reference. What do you, I'm a Snapple guy myself. What is this? What are you talking about? And he said, oh, I said utopia. And I said, well, what is utopia? And he said, it's a state of the world where all souls live together in a state of joy and abundance sustainably. I said, well, that's pretty fucking good. Why aren't we trying for that? He said, that's a good question. I said, well, that's my fucking goal for life. And that was when the Church of Now started. The Church of Now started off of a concept that this prof was amazing. He'd walk into this classroom and he was just dialed in, man. He had people on the edge of the seats. It was a first year arts and science class, and this guy was just lit, man. And he'd walk in and he'd say something so outlandish that the whole classroom would be like, what the did that guy just say? Something like, to heck with pro-life, pro-choice, let's just do an 8-year-old abortion rule, blah, blah, blah. If by the time a kid is 8 and they've, not impressed you or they don't seem to be heading down the right track, that's when we off them. Now, that's not what he said. That's kind of one of my examples. Either way, it sure scratched everybody's heads. So he'd go on about this, and he'd talk about the beliefs, values, and norms and customs pertaining to that topic. And they'd say, take a break and then get back in your groups, and I'll pick a few of you to debate your perspective versus others. So, what happened very, very quickly is like attracted like. You know, the blacks start sitting with the blacks, the Christians, the Jews, the Indians, the Punjabs. It was like they all just started to go together in these little pockets, and I kind of floated around. I came from a town of 300 people. I had 3 students in my grade 6 class. I got along with everybody. And after a while, I kind of got sick of it because it was like they all just argued. You know, talking about swearing and stuff like that, and da 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 da. Wearing your hat at the kitchen table and stuff like that, da 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 da. Which day was the Sabbath, blah 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 blah. Whether there's reincarnation, da 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 da. I went up to the prof, I said, you know, prof, if these fuckers would just stop talking, they'd realize they're all saying the same thing. Everybody's talking, nobody's listening. They're all laying out suggested behaviors and values and norms based off of their beliefs that they think is better for the future generation as a means of dealing with the topic that you posed at them. But all you're doing is here letting them start World War III. What's going on, man? Why are you doing this? And he says, because this is the first time a lot of these kids have left their home. And they got to learn to stand up behind their principles and learn to defend them. Because if you can't do that, you're going to get walked on all the time. And you're going to end up doing bad business with business people that don't align with you. You're going to try and chase every customer, even though customers that just don't fit with you. You know, you're not going to be heading down the right path. And he said, well, what do you propose? I said, well, fuck, we need a new religion. Because it all seems to be spirituality based of some sort. And he said, well, what do you propose? I said, I'd like the Church of Now. He goes, what's that? I said, well, the Church of Now is based upon buying a Bible. On the cover it says, welcome to the future of the Church of Now. Our future is what we see. And then on page 1 it says, everybody knows what's right or wrong eventually. Write your own damn Bible. And it revolved around the idea of bullet journaling, but not just bullet journaling to take charge of your day before your day takes charge of you. Bullet journaling with intention and reflection. So at the end of the week, you could go through those behaviors and tasks that you'd written down at the end of each day. Not too many, 3, 4, 5. Pick a couple. And ask yourself, as a result of my behaviors, you know, whether or not I succeeded in attaining my goal, whether my intention was met or not, can I now identify any stakeholders that have had a negative impact as a result of my behaviors, a negative vibration, a negative experience, or will have, or could have, or even just perceive to have? Because if so, although my intention was good, my goal may be correct, I need to alter my behaviors. So next time if I'm charged with that same situation, I need to accomplish that same task, maybe I can alter my behavior to ensure that nobody I can identify as a negative experience as a result of my behaviors. And I don't know who said this quote, but it leads me to remember a couple actually, but you know, one of them is, no one's ever going to remember what you say or didn't say, do or didn't do. They're only going to remember how you made them feel. And that's the purpose of life, is to make other people feel better, to make them vibrate better. And you know, Robin Sharma, when a father was talking to his son, he said, son, when you were born, you know, you cried, Apgar 10 out of 10, and the world rejoiced. You live your life in such a manner that when you die, you rejoice and the world cries, and you've lived a good life. And that's the idea behind the Church of Now. And the other idea behind the Church of Now is that sixth sense, that opening of the third eye, that connection with the Spirit or Mother Earth, whatever you want to call it. We haven't been able to prove that one very easily, and that's why our curious, conscious mind has such a hard time with it. And some things don't need to be proven. That's the difference between faith and belief. And I'll tell you, I would rather have an army of those that believe, whether they believe in the same thing as me or not. I would rather have that army behind me than those that have no faith or no belief. Because when you have faith or belief and you know something's got your back, no matter how thick it gets, no matter how hard it is, no matter what you're going through, you're going to be taken care of. I hate the words be careful, because really, what do you need to be careful of? Now I know I do not look like the best motivational speaker, but I want to tell you, it's my second night in a hotel after being homeless for 6 weeks. And the homeless happened as a rather result of a very unique story. We're going to get that in a minute. But essentially, less than a year ago, family and I probably had a net worth of over $3 million, maybe $3.5 million. Oh. And now, I don't have a net worth, probably minus 20,000. And yesterday I had 29 cents cash to my name. And I've been living like a king with no money, doing nothing, doing what I do. Because if you want to know what I do, it's hard to believe, and trust me, I sometimes scratch my head, but once you've been touched by an angel, you don't question it anymore. See, on May 19th, 2019, I was meditating down by Gyro Beach, one of the nicest beaches in Canada as far as I'm concerned, which is about 2 blocks away from the bed and breakfast that my wife and I purchased about 2 years ago as a result of being screwed over by a couple holding companies when we tried to buy a mountain. Anyway, I called the name of this bed and breakfast Heaven because it was utopia to me. You know, where else can you fish in the morning, ski for a few hours, late morning, early afternoon, and then go golfing 9 or 18 holes in the same day, and all dressed with the red clothes for the sport? I'd say not many places in the world, other than Kelowna, British Columbia, which is the center of the Okanagan. Amazing food, amazing level of entrepreneurship and innovation, which is why I chose this city after losing quite a bit of money when we got burned by those 2 holding companies. I think that was only a loss of like $4.5 million or something like that, but whatever. But what I was told while I was meditating that day, it was the first time I've ever been touched by an angel. Maybe it was an alien, I'm not sure. Maybe it was a world star. All I can say is I saw a bright white light, like just this amazing bright white light. It was like an eclipse, but it didn't hurt the eyes. Even though my eyes were closed, I could see it. But then what happened within my body was like crazy. It was like electricity, and it was so scary. Freaked out, I couldn't even scream, and then when I relaxed, I realized it felt pretty good. It was actually like being tickled from the inside out. And so when I calmed down to appreciate it and I stopped being scared, it said, "You found your gift, my friend. You're one of the few. And you know it's a gift that everybody's supposed to be doing, but you found it and you're dialed in. You've been one of the best salesperson in every industry you've ever touched, no matter what region of the world. And the only reason that is because you're the kind of salesperson that'll buy that damn thing for that customer because you know it's the right decision and they will thank you later. And that is the kind of salesperson I was. I'd never sell something if I wouldn't have bought it myself. But it said this COVID thing's got me scared about my creation, and I'm going to tell you right now, you humans don't look a lot different than dinosaurs. And this isn't a test of your fiscal and monetary and international collaboration for pandemics. It's a test of one thing and one thing only, and that's whether or not humans can be kind. Now, whether it's man-made or naturally evolved, it does not matter. Whether it was made by China, the United States, the Illuminati, or the Masons, it does not matter. You see, asking questions like that doesn't really help us. But seeing it for the opportunity that it is what we need to see. Because never before in the history of the human race have we been so connected or had the ability to be so connected even though they are trying to isolate us. Just like Hitler did, the way to get everybody to do anything is through fear and isolation. And the powers that be, that 3% that controls 97% of the world's wealth are getting a little scared. The amount of civil unrest, the amount of displaced people. Oh baby, there's a war coming because the Industrial Revolution is done. There ain't nothing they can make for us to buy anymore. We don't need what they make. We need transparency. We need equality, income distribution. We need to stop selling time for money. Anyway, this voice said, I'm going to take it one step farther, good sir, because I am this concerned about it, and I think you're the one that can do it. Because your historical results do say that you make impossible sales happen. So I'm going to tell you what you need to sell. And it's the pandemic. And it is the pandemic to that major plague that you identified in 1995 when you were sitting at that red light. And that plague was people are the walking dead, lack of purpose, void of motivation, detached from their God-given gift. They're selling time for money, they're walking zombies. You watch a red light, look at how many people are driven and driving to get to where they gotta go. Not more than 2%. They're zombies. Can be proven by the stock prices of Netflix as a result of this great opportunity to reset. We're sheep. And that's what they want. That's what they want. Now they're trying to destroy Christmas. And I'm saying right now the world needs to bring Christmas back, and we can do it through access to data and access to information. When the World Health Organization declared access to data and internet connectivity a basic human need, we missed that skill, that opportunity, that chance, and we still have it. And what I propose is we all get together and we just think about our own utopia, because that is my goal. What is it that you do? What is it that you wake up doing, driven like a warrior, that you do better than anybody else? And even if you don't, you keep practicing, and you love practicing because you're good at it. Because that's what you should be selling. You should be selling 24/7. Anybody that sells or selling 24/7 is a liar. Or they're on drugs. 24/7 is doable. Not forever, but doable. Wake up like a warrior. And you get out and sell your gift. And if you focused on selling your gift because it adds value to others, don't worry. That money load is going to follow you in the boat. That's going to be trained. You need to build your own bank account. We have an opportunity to create income disparity by getting rid of the currency arbitrage opportunities through cryptocurrency. Right now, we're not using it. But when that angel told me what I got to do, I ain't stopped. See, I sell hope. That's the cure for the real pandemic. Hope that impossible things happen. Hope that you can be just like that 7-year-old brain when your theta waves were just popping, when anything was possible. You didn't even know the word impossible. But after about 7 years of age, when you started hearing the words impossible and can't and don't and all the negative things, the negativity bias that kept us alive when we were cavemen, you started putting ideas in your subconscious, and that subconscious is an amazing mind because it can't come up with its own ideas, but it sure as hell makes sure that they come true. So I don't sell the hope because that hope is within you, but you see what I do sell is I sell the key to unlock it. To get back to your 7-year-old self. To find out what it is you were here to do. What makes you driven. And I know it sounds fishy. A little corny. And I know I look a little bit wild. I am homeless. I'm dirty. I've been assaulted. I've been pepper sprayed. I've been had a machete swung on my head. I've been run down by cars twice. I've had police brutality. I've had discrimination against banks. Identity theft. But here's what I can tell you. You can be the victim if you want. And if you see that mentality, that victim mentality, that's what you're going to get. You're going to be a victim. And I ain't no fucking victim, people. I'm making possible things happen, and you are a part of it right now. And when I can prove to you that I can make money out of thin air, which I have done, I've got videos, my little boy saw it. Miss those little guys. 7 months, I haven't seen them, and I sent them away. That's real love, baby, when you send something away because you know what you're doing is hardcore, ain't safe. And what I've been doing is trying to help women that were forced into the human sex industry and the drug industry. And stories I've heard, I'm telling you, you don't want to. You don't want to know. You can't unforget it. But when I prove to you that I can make impossible things happen, I wonder if you will give me a little bit of credibility. And if you do give me credibility, then I wonder if you will just give what I have to say 30 days of trying. Just behavioral tasks. You either do it or you didn't do it. And I got a money back guarantee. It's gonna improve the quality of your life. So you can pay what you want. You don't have to pay. I'll give it to you anyway. But what I've learned in the last little while is I gotta pick the right target audience. You see, I picked the wrong target audience. I gotta pick a target audience that I can afford to sustain myself financially. And because I need about $1.9 million a year to make the world a better place. I have a goal of paying the most taxes in Canada just because that's how much money I made. But when I make money, other people make money. And so now I need to target a different profile of client instead of the homeless and the riffraff and the people with nothing. Because I'm good at inspiring those people. But there's just as much pain in the people that are wealthy, white, heterosexual males that are similar to what I was not only 6 months to a year ago. They're in pain too, people. Everybody's got uncertainty. Everybody's got fear. Fear of the unknown, baby. That's the cause of all wars. I got a story. And I'm going to try and get it done in the next 9 minutes, and you're going to call it a day. I was born in Calgary, Saskatchewan. After 5 years old or 6 years old, my mom and dad split up. I don't remember the whole thing. I don't know, I was lied to a lot growing up about what happened, and I only got to hear one side of one story. That doesn't matter, but and I moved to a small grain farm in a town of 300 people in central Saskatchewan, where when I moved there, I think within the first week I started the town on fire. That was a real nice welcoming to the town. Back then, crisscross became famous. I wore my pants backwards and inside out, and I rapped. That was really cool in the country, in the sticks. Needless to say, I got in a lot of fights. I didn't win many. And then a teacher took me under his wing. He said, you gotta be a goalie, man. It's a hockey town. You gotta be a goalie. And I was one of the best damn goalies in that region. I played 2 age categories above. And what I learned about being a goalie is one of those things, man, nobody remembers if you win. Nobody only remembers when you lose. But at least they stopped hitting me because I was that damn good. Well, then I went to university. And Dad made me go and be an accountant because I was good with math, even though I hated the class. I wanted to take over the farm. I said, Dad, I hate this shit. But he had to take over the farm when he was 8 or 13 years old because his dad died of a heart attack. And so he was always jealous of not being able to go to school because he was a super smart man. And I think that's why he made me go. But anyway, I went. During my 3rd year, I told him I hated it. I said, Dad, I don't want to drive truck or something. This is bullshit. I can do my schoolwork from a bunk. I want to take over the farm when I'm done. And he says, well, this weekend your mom and I are going away. You should know enough now. I'm going to let you look at the computer and you can look at the books. Because we were trying to hold on for it, hold on to tell you, but your other 2 brothers don't want anything to do with it. And we just want you to take a look at the numbers and see what's happening. And so I did. I think it was ProTax or Quicken or something like that. I can't remember. It was old school. It was an IBM computer. There were floppy disks. 386 or something like that. And when they came back that weekend, I said, oh my fucking God, I can't believe how much money you guys are losing. Just to give us a life. Fucking sell this fucking place. You guys work too fucking hard. Sell it. Go fucking live where you want to live. So they sold the farm. I lost my home. So then I did drove truck across Canada for a couple of years. Listened to CBC the whole time. That's back when the nursing shortage was coming on strong. And I looked at the classes in the nursing degree and I'm like, holy man, what a well-rounded degree, from business to public health to non-profits to profit to, unionized bullshit. That's a pretty good fucking degree. So I applied to nursing. I got into nursing. I got my nursing degree. I finished it in 3 years. I was one of the first students that went and did their final practicum in the far north. I'm talking flying communities only. I'm talking craziness. 4th generation fetal alcohol syndrome where they hate whitey. But I was non-judgmental. Always have been. Anyway, I hated the Union, saw too much death. So I said, fuck it. My cousin had a daughter and he wanted me to be the godfather. So I went to Taiwan. I was addicted to cocaine at the time too. I was working shift work. You know, lots of doctors and nurses. Nurses, I think, are the number one addicted professions, or number one alcoholic professions. Doctors are now catching up pretty close there too. Cops are the number one profession of spousal abuse, just to let you know. Anyway, I went over to Asia with a backpack. I think I had a return ticket for a month or 2 weeks or something like that. I ended up staying for 10 years, came back with a wife and 2 kids. Came back with a wife and 8 kids, sorry. That first one I could call an angel, and that second one I had him in Canada. My wife and I had him in Canada. He could be called Karma. Well, baby. Love them both. So after 10 years over there, after helping a guy start a school, from 3 students, we turned it into 350. We were the premier school in the small town of 1 million people or so. We had a money-back guarantee that if your kids didn't get a certain grade point average, we'd give your money back. Because we taught by engaging the kids. And it was pretty weird when a white guy was teaching the kids Chinese. Self-taught myself Chinese. Thai Ko, which means like Thai blood. I'm more Thai Ko than a lot of the Taiwanese. Just like when I see a First Nations person or an Aboriginal person, I've been told this by them, so excuse the French. And I know Indians are from India, but I've been told this so many times, it's not even funny. You're more fucking Indian than I am, man. And I said, fucking right, brother. Respect yourself. Respect Mother Earth. Or I'll respect it for you. And I walked through some of the scariest places in the goddamn world. Fearlessly. I've done cocaine off of the Federales badge in Mexico after they were trying to rape my girlfriend at the time. I rolled a car 11 times end over end with the headrest sticking out the moonroof, and I popped out of it at 184 kilometers an hour and said, hey, Corey, let's flip it back on its wheels. I think it's okay. We'll just pound these things out. It was kind of wrecked. I lost my license the day I got it for dangerous driving. I think I got clocked like 140 in a 40 zone. I lost the cops. It was not my big deal, but he caught me when I was washing dishes because I've been working since I was 13 years old. Anyway, so I learned about the dangerous driving laws. And I had a few other run-ins with the law. Got a 08, I can't remember. It was in university sometime. And I got that in the parking lot, leaving a bar. And then I got my second 08. Many years after. I think it was about 10 years after. And it was the day Dad died. And it was right before, and I'm pretty sure he's an angel, and I think it broke his heart. And I was trying to do the right thing. I'd taken some customers out, and I was taking customers out everywhere, man. Customers needed to wait for me to come to them. They wanted us everywhere around what I was dealing with. My AOR, my area of responsibility, just kept on growing. I had about a 98, 99% retention rate. And I never haggled on price. When I said my first price, everybody knew if they asked me for a deal, it went up more expensive the second time, just for them asking. But I got pulled over I got clocked at 189 kilometers an hour. I tried to wait. I was sitting there. The customer had left. I'd had 3 beer. I'd already had 2 coffee, and I was working on my computer, and then something told me that my dad was having a heart attack. I don't know why. I don't know. Like I said, angels are always there if you pay attention to them. Anyway, looking at you, wingnut cops, they flipped around and tried to catch me, and they caught up to me, man. And after that, I said, I'm never going to have anything that goes less than 240 because I was doing 190. They were going the other way, and they were on me within 10 kilometers. And they tried to charge me with a whole bunch of shit, and all it really got stuck was another 08, so I lost my license for another 6 months. Got involved in the blowbox industry, which tried to start a class action lawsuit against them. Absolutely stupid bullshit scam that is.
As are most of our laws. Like if we really wanted to stop drinking and driving, did you know there's, I think, four of the major global auto manufacturers that have been wired for the last just about 10 years for ignition interlock devices to stop drinking and driving. Now we got daytime running lights, we got airbags, we got shoulder seatbelts, we got anti-lock brakes, and this drinking and driving, which apparently is this massive, massive, massive problem. The solution is so fucking easy. Yet we don't do it because why? Well, we wouldn't make as much money off of it, would we? So got that record, and that was right after I got my record removed too. And so now I got another criminal record. I'm hoping to get that removed. I'm eligible now. Uh, so those are my run-ins with the law. I guess when I was in university, I got charged with possession of marijuana. Represented myself and had the tickets thrown out. I was in the back of my Volvo, my '75 Volvo that I bought after driving back from Mexico trying to save my dog. I bought it at Medicine Hat from this old Swedish couple, and that thing was awesome, man. Turbo brick, and I was at this house party, and it was in September, I think, like, yeah, or maybe October, and I was at a house party, and I was too drunk to drive, and I didn't want to stay there anymore, so I went to the back of this car. It was a four-door car, huge car. Went to the back of it, slept in the back. Knock, knock, knock. After a couple hours. What? You got keys in this thing? Well, yeah, it's a fucking car. What are you doing? I'm too fucking drunk to drive, man. I'm sleeping. You can't have fucking keys. Charge you to 08. What the fuck, you dumb fuck? I'm not fucking driving, man. I'm fucking sleeping off because I'm too fucking drunk to drive, you idiot. Get out of the car. So get out of the car. And they pat me down, da 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 da, and they found about an ounce of weed on me. And charged me with possession of marijuana. They didn't charge me with the 08 for some reason. I have no idea why, but anyway. So I had to go represent myself in court that time. And I went in there. I had dreadlocks at the time, and went to listen to the Crown do their thing. Legal aid's like, "Hey, do you need help? Do you need help?" I'm, no, no, no. I got this. I wore this shirt, big marijuana leaf, said "hemp planted for the planet." Got my dreadlocks, had sunglasses, and I just blazed a big spliff outside and called me up. Do you have anything to save yourself? And I said, well, first of all, to that officer that says that's approximately $400 worth of marijuana, I said, I have no idea where he's buying his grass, but after he can buy it from me, because I'm going to say that's only worth about $100, if that. I said, that's like a pretty dodgy outdoor, C-class weed that he caught me with. I wouldn't have paid $50 for it. So he's saying it's like $400. He's getting screwed. So he's lying right there that's saying that's $400 worth of street value of marijuana. Second of all, I was sleeping in my car and trying to not da da da. And the judge was like, "Is this all true?" And the Crown is like, "Well, according to the officer's not here." And the judge is like, "So you were at a house party. You didn't want to stay at the house party any longer, but you knew you had too much to drink. So you went into the back of your car, and the keys you had with you, but you put them under the seats. Yeah. And then when the house party got kind of reported, the cops came and they were knocking on everybody's doors and cars that were around the area, and they woke you up. Yep. And then they searched you and they found this marijuana on you, and then that's how you got charged with possession of marijuana. So that sounds like you pretty much got the story correct there. And this sounds like a pretty stupid charge. We're just going to throw this one out. I said, thank you very much, sir. Have a good day. So they threw that one out. Now, that was the first time I had one thrown out. Then it wasn't very long after. I had another one thrown out, drinking and driving in, open liquor in a motor vehicle. It was priceless, man. I was staying at this really, really cool apartment, and I was taking the engine out of my Volkswagen van that I'd lived in for just about 3 years. When I was down in Mexico, I lived in it. And then I just got back, was going back to university, and I was going to redo the engine, and I was actually getting ready to sell it to these two young girls who were going to graduate. And their parents said they could buy one and they could drive it down to Mexico. And they saw mine and they wanted it. And I said, well, yeah, that's like, I'm 100% on board. But I said, I'm not going to let you do this unless you can do a rear engine oil seal, unless you can do valve covers. Like, if you can't fix this thing, you can't drive this thing to Mexico. And these are little fixes, but if you can't do it, you can't take this vehicle. Like, it's not for you. So I was, my van was parked in a parking spot I paid for, $25 a month, and across there's another set of parking spots behind it, but in the middle there was a public alley that went to City Park, and this biker cop rolled up. Does he got beer there? I'm like, yeah, man. You can't have beer in a motor vehicle. I said, yes, I can. No, you can't. And he grabs my beer, and I'm under the car, under this thing on a skateboard. That's what I use for a creeper. And he dumps out my beer, and he asks me a name. I give him my name, stuff like that. And you live here? Yes, I do. I pay rent here. And I said, I actually got two houses. Actually, I said this vehicle that I'm underneath is a licensed motorhome, and he writes me up a $170 ticket for open liquor in a motor vehicle. I said, you dumbass man, why'd you waste that beer? So I crawl out and I grab another one and open it, take a sip, get back underneath, undo a few things, and he goes, did you open another beer? I said, yes, I did. You idiot, you just fucking dumped that one out. So he gives me another ticket. Same thing. I'm like, you fucking dumbass, man. Like, what the fuck's your problem, buddy? Like, I'm allowed to be doing what I'm doing. I have no idea what you know, but you sure as fuck don't know what you're doing. I'll tell you that right now. So he gives me another ticket. I'm like, buddy, there were 18 beer in that fucking box, and I said, if you got 18 tickets, we're gonna go. This is gonna be really, really fucking long, and I'm gonna be really angry when we get to the end of it, and you've dumped out 18 of my fucking beer. So the third one comes, and he does the same damn thing, and he's starting to get a little bit mad, and I'm starting to get a little bit happy, and all these people are watching out the windows, and they like people watch me do this all the time because they were watching me do the engine job, and it was awesome. It was kind of like on a movie. We're having conversations across the alley through the apartment windows. It was really cool place, really old building, beautiful building, a couple blocks from the hospital in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and so I got 3 or 4 tickets all lined up, and a couple empty bottles, and I said, like, man, are you fucking done? Like, put your pen and paper, put it down, and if I could just grab my ankles and pull me fucking out of this motherfucking thing. Like, could you help me a little bit? So he grabs my ankles, he pulls me out. I've got the engine on my chest. I say, thank you. I wiggle out, put the engine on the skateboard, grab another beer, open a beer. I said, are you fucking seriously trying to tell me that I've got a fucking open liquor in a motor vehicle? Is that honestly what you're fucking writing these tickets for? And he says, yeah. I said, listen here, you dumbass fucking biker cop. There's a few things that you don't fucking know about. Number one, this is a private parking spot. I pay rent for it. Number two, this is a licensed motorhome, and I've got receipts for the last 6 months of living in it with toiletries and everything else. Number three, do you see a fucking motor in the motherfucking thing, you dumbass? Stop wasting my fucking beer. I'll see you in court, and you owe me 4 fucking beer. And when I win and throw this out, I want you to take me out for beer after the court. And so we went to court, and I brought the city maps and blueprints and everything, and I brought pictures and everything. And the judge was just like, this has got to be the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. And I said, I know, that's what I was trying to tell this stupid little biker cop. And the judge threw it out and gave the cop shit. So we walked out, and the cop's like, holy shit, man, you knew what you were talking about? I'm like, why the fuck wouldn't I, you dumbass? Like, of course I knew what I was talking about. And he goes, all right, let's go down. So he went down. He bought me 4 beer. He's a pretty nice guy. He's decent. Just one of those cops, man, on a power trip, like so many of them are. And those are my run-ins with the law. Up until recently, I've had quite a few run-ins with the law recently, hundreds actually. And we're gonna get into that. That's gonna be part of my story on how I went from a net worth of over $3 million to probably negative $100,000 in the last 12 months by trying to help people. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say victim, and like they're going to be poor you, and then they're going to maybe say, why don't you start a GoFundMe page? And I mean, even go feel sorry for me page. I'm like, I don't need that shit. How come you didn't apply for social services or anything like that? Because there's more people that need that fucking social services shit than I do. I'm all right. I'm going to bounce back. I'm not very happy about this infection that I've got, which I'm pretty sure it's a Staphylococcus aureus infection that I got from the hospital. When I got stitches after being assaulted from a business owner in town here that is involved in the human trafficking and drug industry, which is the industries that I tried to take a bite out of. And we'll get into that in a little bit, but that's me, so if you ask me who I am and what I am, I'm just a fucking dumbass Saskatchewan farm kid. And I was born by the name of Craig in Canada. But my time in Asia, I was born again because I am so Eastern guided that I feel like there are two parts of me, and there you can call me Akai. When I came back, I realized the blend of both worlds is what's needed, and that's why Taiwan is so instrumental to saving the world right now. And Canada, I believe, has a very instrumental role to play. Um, but I believe that communication is a big thing, and I'm not sure if I'm going to separate myself from Canada after what has happened to me, and maybe declare myself a sovereign state. Um, which is something I'm strongly considering because the rights and rules and regulations that made this country one of the greatest places to live in the world are now the biggest things that holding us back. And trust me, when I'm a homeowner and the squatters have more rights than I do, and they've stolen every damn thing that I own, including my kids' toys, my like everything, and they got no keys, they got no contract, they got nothing, and the police are like, this is a civil matter, and then the bylaw people are like, well, nothing we can do about it. It's going to take 6 months. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, what in the motherfuck is wrong with the world? And anyway, I'm gonna give you the poor me shit and the old sympathy card. I'm gonna play that and just like throw it out there and just throw you the facts. It's gonna shock you. It's gonna blow your motherfucking mind. But I'm also going to open up your eyes to what's happening in the human trafficking in the drug industry. Because you got no idea. And I'm gonna tell you stories that you wish you'd never heard, and you're never gonna be able to forget them. And I'm sorry to have to do that to you. But sticking your head in the sand ain't working, is it? So I know this is a long video about getting to be who I am, and I can do all my videos in like 5 to 10 minutes. But I've been working on content for years, and I've had all my identity stolen and everything. So I'm rebuilding, trying to start a little cleaner, a little more consolidated. And there are going to be about 30-minute videos that are going to be the long versions. When I have time, I'm going to type up the dialogue, so there will be captions, and then I'll translate that into a couple different languages. And I'm probably going to do this in Mandarin as well, but it's baby steps, baby. And as you can tell, I do not feel that good. Yeah, last night I bet you I lost like 5 pounds of sweat when I fell asleep, and I think that's parasympathetic nervous system kicking in. Rising liver yang is like back up on top of the world, man. Is like, it ain't good. And I'm weak for the time being. But me weak is stronger than a lot of people ever will be. And that's my biggest pain, is that I see so much potential in every soul that's out there. And I see them operating at like 10% of the capabilities. We are all put here to be a hero, a genius, a legend, to live a life like a legend, leave a legacy behind you. And I don't see anybody doing it. And that's my pain. It's been my pain for a long time. Sheeple? Yeah, that's right, sheeple. And whether you want to say COVID's man-made or whatever, it's fucking needed. We need to cull some of the human fucking race because we're a waste of fucking life. When a world pandemic or a fucking virus is going to take out the human race and people are fighting over fucking toilet paper, that's how they know the sheep are ready. Fighting over fucking toilet paper at the end of days. Use your fucking hand like they do in India and wash your fucking hand. Did you know what? Subway, fucking McDonald's, and all the restaurants never ran out of napkins. What the fuck are you doing fighting at Costco over toilet paper, you dumbass motherfuckers? That's called the sheeple. We're ready for a cull. Maybe the vaccine does have 5G technology in it, and if you can't figure out your own fucking value proposition, then you need to find a place to go. Because if you don't know your own value fucking statement, guess what you're worth? Nothing. You're a fucking parasite, a leech. And you don't need to be. And that's what I try to help people find. Get back to their 7-year-old, their 4-year-old self. Find that gift that they were given. And live life like a motherfucking warrior. My boys know when it's time to wake up, I'm like, boys, what time is it? And they're like, go time. When are you going to start? Right now. And they get up charging. And they know that they are selling 24/7. My oldest boy's gift is determination. And he sells determination everywhere he goes, man. He is an inspiration on every sports team that he plays on because that guy doesn't quit. He pukes, he skates so hard when he doesn't even know how to skate. He got MVP from the goddamn other team in a hockey tournament. When the coach, I think, gave him the other team's MVP from determination. And then my little guy, his is kindness and compassion. And he sells that everywhere he goes. He looks at people and he just knows what they need. And I miss those two fucking little angels. You got this, boys. And you know ain't nothing gonna take your daddy down. If I gotta swim across this fucking ocean to see, I'll swim. Love you, boys. Welcome to the church now. Church that ain't a church. We're guided by Bibles that aren't Bibles. Some of you can say amen. You know what I like to say? I like to say boom shakalaka. We are one. Boom.